Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, July 12th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so let's jump right into the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures, which are trading lower by 9 points this morning. Futures have come off the lows. I guess they made the lows around 6:30 this morning. They have started to move back up a little bit, but nonetheless, still a pretty sizable gap down this morning. Futures trading down around 9 points to 13.27 per contract. So a decent little drop. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. You can see the dollar has started to pull back around 7 a.m. And once the dollar pulls back, the futures get a little bit of a bid in the S&P. But strong dollar again today, testing that $84 level. That's a pretty good little resistance point. We'll see if the dollar has the strength to get it through there. I'm not 100% sure it will today, or it does have the strength, but nonetheless, the dollar is still having a pretty decent morning. We'll see if it tries to make an attempt at the 84 level and tries to get through there. If the dollar moves higher, obviously you should all know by now the markets will move lower. This is the most correlated relationship in the stock market at this time. Dollar is up, market is down, and that's really all you need to know. There are a lot of problems in Europe this morning. The European market's definitely under pressure really across the board. It looks like there was some auctions out there. There was a few different things, some economic data released. Also, Germany, I believe, had a bond auction with a negative yield. So that just tells you there are problems across the pond, and there's problems here too as well. So again, it's not a pretty picture in the European markets today. If you take a look at the European stock indexes, you'll see that Spain is down over 2%. Italy is down about 1.5%. And then you have the German DAX, which is probably the most important index out there since that's the one solvent country. That is down about 0.8%. Now the FTSE 100, which is England, down 1.13%, and the CAC 40, which is France, down about 0.5%. So ugly across the board. England is a little bit different than the rest of the European Union because they can print their own money. They just released a quantitative easing expansion about a week ago, and I think that is starting to fade already. So we'll see how this market plays out, but nonetheless, this is what we're dealing with at least before the opening today. Now at 8:30, within about 5 minutes, we're going to have the weekly initial jobless claims report released. I believe you're going to have import and export prices for June released as well at 8:30. So we'll see if that does move the markets, but right now I don't think the markets care about any of that stuff. All they care about is the dollar. If the dollar is going to go higher, that means the problems in Europe are getting bigger. If the dollar goes lower, that means the problems in Europe are having a band-aid put on the wound. So again, we'll just see how it plays out. Let's talk about oil and gold today. Gold is down about $15 to $15.61 per ounce. So gold making another little drop there. Let's take a look at the GLD today. That's our proxy, and you'll see the GLD trading all the way down to 151.36 after closing yesterday at 153. So decent little decline. GLD is off the lows a little bit, but nonetheless, that's still a pretty good drop here. And as I said, spot gold is down about $15. We'll take a look at oil. Spot crude is down $1.25 to 84.56 per barrel. So that's a decent little fall this morning. Let's take a look at the USO. USO is trading down at the 31.76 level after closing at 32.33. So that's a decent little drop there on the USO and on spot crude. Again, stronger dollar will bring the prices down in oil and crude. Weaker dollar will lift the prices in oil and crude. So pick your poison, whichever one you want. You want higher asset prices? Unfortunately, you got to get a weaker dollar. You want a stronger dollar, you'll get higher asset prices. That's what it's all built on, and we'll see how it all plays out and shakes out going forward. But right now, that is the inverse relationship that is intact. Couple of other things to go over last night. The Asian markets were hit pretty hard. I believe the Hang Seng was down over 2%, the Nikkei was down 1.5%, and the Indian Sensex was down 1.5%. Australia was down about 0.7%. So decent little decline across the board last night in Asia. The Shanghai, believe it or not, held up. I believe the Shanghai last night was up about 0.5%. So on hopes of rate hike or rate rate decline. So again, the Shanghai index, which probably is the most important index out there in Asia, that actually held up last night. But many people are now expecting some sort of interest rate cut to boost the markets over there. I'm not sure that happens anytime soon, but we'll see. Couple of other things to go over. We have some stocks in the news today. We're going to start off with SAP first. SAP making a pretty nice move to 59.50. Watch for resistance here on this one around $61. I think that's going to be first resistance. It might be 61.50. It's hard to pinpoint this one exactly. Then you're going to look at 63.72 and 65.80, but I think the 61 to 61.50 area, very good resistance initially. Let's take a look at IMGN. I don't know this name, but I did see it this morning. This stock is getting hit. Closed at 17.36 right now, trading at 16.30. Ultimately, this thing could trade down as low as $14.30. This is a weak. This is a pretty decent gap down, but it's a very light volume stock. Right now, the support levels before that are going to be 15.82, 15.11, and then all the way down to 14.30. Okay, 14.30 is the best bet, but all of those short-term support levels will be in play first. Let's take a look at SVU. Everybody knows this one. This is Super Value. This stock is just getting annihilated this morning. Closed at 5.29 yesterday. Today it's trading at 3.60. I think it goes down to around the 3.30, 3.25 level. It may find a little support there, but there's really no reason to pick this one up at all. I just don't see anything there. This is a pretty dire move in the market, so I'm just not seeing a lot of strength there. Let's take a look at Infosys. Again, India was weak. This stock should be weak as well. There's some support around this $40 area. However, that level gets broken and penetrated. Watch for a little bit of minor support around $38.85, and then it's all the way down to $35. Okay, this stock looks poised to go lower. Just be careful with it. It's put in a long, loose, choppy base for about 4 months, and it's breaking lower. Should have further downside in the card. So be careful with Infosys. Has a little bit of support at 40. This level breaks. It's going to have some just real short-term support at 38.80. Be careful there, 38.85. And then after that, it's all the way down to $35. Whereas I think the better support level will be around $35. Okay, so be careful there. Infosys is trading sharply lower. We have Callaway Golf, which is ticker symbol ELY, E-L-Y. This stock is getting hammered this morning, trading down around $5. Has some support around $4.75, but nonetheless, I don't even know if it's worth picking up here. It's a low price stock now and really just decimated on the charts. I don't know if there's really any real recovery here to speak of, so be a little bit careful there. It looks like initial jobless claims are released. They're down 26,000, 350,000. Markets are getting a little bit of an uptick from that job number, but I don't know if you could put really much into it. If the US dollar index starts to go higher, those futures are going to go lower, and that's the bottom line. Don't even worry about the job number or some weekly jobless claim number that may not even be real anyway. So and once again, watch the dollar. Dollar will tell you everything you need to know, and as we speak, the dollar is starting to take off to the upside, and that's all you need to see. Dollar up, markets down, and that's the way it works. With that said, everybody, I'd like to wish you all a great trading day, and we'll see you all on the charts tomorrow. Have a great day now.